Concern over inflation from U.S. tariffs is just beginning. China is retaliating now that American companies must pay 10% extra on Chinese imports. Beijing is issuing tariffs on certain items from the U.S. NBC's Janice Mackey-Frayer tells us which products and industries are being targeted.
As President Trump stands down for now on Canada and Mexico, a trade war could be heating up with China, with rapid-fire retaliation from Beijing today on multiple fronts. China is imposing additional tariffs of 10 to 15% on a range of U.S. imports, including coal, liquefied natural gas, crude oil, farm machinery. It's also targeting some car imports, namely pickup trucks, and announced additional export controls on certain critical metals. The tariffs take effect February 10th, but there's more. China's also announced an antitrust probe into Google. This is not the first for the company, which doesn't do a lot of business here because the search engine is blocked. But it is disruptive for Chinese companies, and the government here appears to be wanting to make a point. As well, two American companies, PVH Group, which owns clothing brands like Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger, and Illumina, a gene sequencing startup, are being added to the unreliable entity list here, meaning they're effectively blacklisted from doing business. These measures are not seen as making a huge dent in the U.S. economy, but more so designed to send a message that it could be worse, and in particular for red states. China's leader Xi Jinping doesn't want to be seen as caving to President Trump, the U.S., or the West. Economists say the measures affect roughly 30% of U.S. exports to China. But remember, the executive order also closed a loophole that allowed Chinese companies like Shein and Temu to send goods to the U.S. without paying tariffs. So China's retaliation was expected, as the U.S. tariffs were on Chinese goods. The uncertainty now is whether all of this is negotiating tactics between the two largest economies in the world or the beginning of a deeper trade confrontation. Janice Mackey-Frayer, NBC News, Beijing.
Europe is also bracing for a potential trade showdown with the U.S. The EU Commission says it plans to retaliate with comparable tariffs if the U.S. imposes tariffs on European products. Now, despite the uncertainties over a trade war, investors are responding positively to a batch of corporate results. Take a look at the Dow, up about 100 points. S&P 500 also in the green, making modest gains, up 40. The Nasdaq seeing a significant rally, up 230 points at this hour.